Virgo or Virgo cross watcher, this is going to be a message for you guys. Feel free to reverse this if you need to. This may even be a message for somebody connected to you, and perhaps this is how another is seeing them. This is super strong. It's very, very, very strong. It's almost, I don't know, I feel like a flirty nature to it, but it's nice. I love this. We're going to get right into it. So basically, to this person, whoever's on your mind right now while you're watching this, and if you have no one on your mind while you're watching this, maybe you're not thinking of any particular individual, this could be foreshadowing someone that will come into your life, and this is how they're going to see you. A lot of you, I think you already know this person. I feel like you may have even known them for quite some time. A long, long, long time. The reason I say this is because this person is extremely observant, and over, I want to say the years, or over a period of time, whatever that period of time looks like, this person has closely observed you and your behavior and your mannerisms and how you handle things and how you handle life. And most importantly, how you handle yourself. And I've got to say, they have the utmost respect for you, and they see your value. They see you as unique as well. And that's a word that pops out to me real big here. They see you as someone unique. So it's safe to say this individual particularly, they haven't met anyone like you. Most people are not like you. They feel that you're not the norm. You're not what society is spitting out there. You are extremely different than the average person. They do not see you at average in any way, or as average in any way. This is somebody who sees you as solid, reliable, dependable. They can trust if you say something, even if you don't say something. They trust the energy coming from you because, and here's what I think it mostly is because you trust you. You love yourself so much. You could say you're selfish, but in the healthiest way possible. There's a song called Human Nature by Sevdalzia. I've covered this song before, and I've posted it on my channel a few different times. But in it, she says, selfish just means to simply be yourself. You can be selfish in different ways, but we're talking about a healthy selfishness here. This person knows you're selfish, but selfish in a healthy way. It's got such a negative connotation around that word, selfish, because usually it is used in a negative way. But I'm speaking of it in a way that most people can't see, because their perspective is only one way on the word selfish. You also come in and change people's perspectives. If they have an open heart and eyes to see and ears to hear, they will see that there are many different ways. I'm hearing to skin a chicken. There's many different ways to see things. Okay, you provide that. You provide something to do with like third eye awakening, awakening the third eye, things like that. Like you have maybe even this person feels that you've provided more spiritual knowledge to them by having been in their life or something like that, having encountered you, or a certain type of particular spiritual knowledge. Maybe they had spiritual knowledge, but from a religious aspect or a cultural aspect, whereas you provide a different way to see things. I don't know, there's something. They see you as consistent, as trustworthy, because you're consistent and trustworthy with yourself. If you take care of yourself, if you love yourself, if you love your body, because your body, and see, it took me a long time to get that, and I'm still working on it. I'm actually in the thick of that. Our body is our temple. That's true. It's not my line. It's from a book. You know the book? Yes. It is our temple. That's the truth. And it is our first marriage we ever have. It's our longest friend. It's our first parent. It is our body. Our soul and our body, they go together. That's our best friend. That's our taxi through this life. And we completely take it for granted. We mistreat our body our whole life usually, whether it's with the people we let on it or in it, the thoughts we allow in it, the food we feed it, whether it's our problem or not, meaning like we intentionally abuse it or we can't help it because we're being poisoned by our government. I mean, that's just allegedly, probably not happening, but so whether we intentionally poison ourselves or it's something we don't have any control over, we still do that. Coming from an I place, what I did was self-harm and alcoholism and smoking and lots of things, eating disorder. And so all of those things, like, we don't realize how important our body is until we start getting older, and our skin, taking care of our skin, getting a little bit of exercise. I'm not saying we have to go out there and be like crazy with it and we all have to work out and get a gym membership, but just walking and stretching our body and taking care of us. We're all on the grind, and we're all, this life is designed to make us constantly have to like go. And when we're not going anymore, we're having to sleep to catch up from all the going. And we take very little time to like really take care of ourselves. And even sometimes you'll see when we start taking care of ourselves, I used to be like this when I was really big into like health and fitness, which there was a time it wasn't really for my health. No, it was for what people would think about my body, what they would think of me. That's the truth. For me, coming from an I place, I'm not saying that's everybody's situation, obviously, but for me, that's what I was doing. It wasn't about at all me being healthy. It was about how did I look in pictures and how many likes could I get and what would people think about it. And I was completely missing the mark. I was missing the point. I'm hearing marks, something to do with marks or mark. On your mark, get set, go. Magic marker, Mark. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. Okay, Bible references here. Somebody may have a Bible name, or in the biblical times, someone has a name that's like from a long time ago, or a name that's like very strong, like, emperor, empire type things, I'm getting off track here. Yes, so when we love ourselves and take care of ourselves, mind, body, soul, spirit, those who have ears to hear and eyes to see they can love us and trust us because we love and trust ourselves. They can rely on us because we can rely on ourselves. We're more of a safe bet. When we're out there and we don't care about ourselves and we don't care about our health and we don't even trust ourselves, how safe are we to other people? It is true that we should probably become what we're looking for in another before we get it in another. Because ultimately, if we don't do that, then we end up getting upset when it doesn't show up in another person, but the reason it didn't show up in another person and it wasn't really actually there, even though we thought it was, is because we haven't mastered it here first. At least that's something I'm working on right now. I think I'm onto something there, but I might not be. I don't know shit. I really don't. The second I think that I know something, I learn something else. So, I mean, maybe I do know something, but I only know this something. There's a million different ways to see things. So, it's just how I'm seeing it right now. But basically, someone loves the way that you see things. You provide them a fresh perspective daily on different things, whether you do it directly or indirectly. I mean, this may even be someone who's about to come into your life, but you would be surprised how much this person's observed you before approaching or whatever. Okay, so they trust you because you trust you. They're consistent. They'll be consistent with you. You can rely on this person as well because you can rely on you. If you have structure and you have boundaries, this person will also have boundaries or respect your boundaries for one, and they'll have structure as well in their own life. You know what I mean? Like, I even feel like you'll be a good example to this person if you haven't been already. All right? They also see you as someone who doesn't invest in something unless you believe in it. Like, you would not be like a faulty salesman or someone who's just trying to say things to make money off of it. You're not going to say something unless you know it to be true, or unless it's something you've lived yourself. That's my stomach growling. I am straight up having a fast right now. It's not because I want to fast. Maybe that's my ancestors or creators' way of saying we're going to force you to fast because you need to fast. Stop feeding it all this junk and shit. Stop throwing up. This is someone who sees you as loving yourself, so therefore the love that you are going to receive from other people has a higher chance of being genuine because these are probably also people who love themselves. It's kind of like the idea of attracting what you're embodying, what you are, who you are. They see you as grounded. In that, I mean, like, if you feel like, let's say you're on a spiritual journey, just throwing it out there, and you're like, look, I need a lot of time to myself. I need a lot of time. You stick by that. You mean that. If you hermit for a while, well, you hermit for a while. It's not about people's feelings and them saying, you know, I see this a lot of times in social settings with people who are big on the friend scene, which there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody came to this planet for a different purpose. I truly believe that. But something I find interesting in that is you'll constantly hear, like in the Real Housewives, just as an example and things like that, you're not my friend and this and that and you, and I'm like, I couldn't keep up with all that. They would think I'm an awful friend. I would be a terrible friend for their type of friendship, because I need a lot of alone time. You should have no expectations when it comes to me. None whatsoever. Other than I expect you to take care of yourself and provide yourself with what you need. And I expect you to continue being authentic with yourself like you have been. That's the only expectations you should have for me. Otherwise, I'm going to severely let you down. I would be an awful friend for people who have high expectations for what they need from me. I need you to not need anything from me. I need you to know that I'm going to show up and be there daily to try to heal myself and all the things that I've overlooked about myself throughout these years. I am working on unprogramming myself, on learning and unlearning. And in the midst of that, I will show love to those around me, because I also love myself when they are in need. If they're sick or ailing, if they need comfort in some way, then I will provide a silent support system, because I also understand it's something they're going through and that they have to go through that. You're like extremely, what's the word, like dignified? What does that even mean? Dignified. I mean, my stomach is like straight up growling. If it sounds like I have an animal in there in the zoo and it's just, it's about to just like jump out of there. I've got a little bit of a headache too. It's okay. You know, I think better when I don't eat. I really do. Although I would rather be eating right now. But until I figure out what's going on with this gut of mine, I'm just gonna have to wait. So, dignified definition.
Here's the definition of dignified: having or showing a composed or serious manner that is worthy of respect.
There you go. That's you. Dignified. To them, you are unique, valuable, and dignified. And that's sexy. Man or woman, they love it. They love it. You don't let anything get to you. You don't worry about trivial matters. Haters, everybody's got them. Slander, everyone gets it. And that just says you're successful. That just says that you're going the right direction. You kind of need it all. You need a balance. You need a balance of everything. You don't need everyone to be your friend. And that's great. You have a loving nature. Oh, a lot of you also, you may really love Earth, period, like Earth. I wrote down Earth. Animals, and you have basically an overall respect for the planet. Like, I'm pretty sure that the type of person that you are, if you see somebody littering, and I'm not saying you're perfect and that you haven't ever done it. I don't know what you've done, but it's not about that right now in this moment. It's you're addressing all the things you've ever done and all the things you need to undo. Like, wow. This type of energy to me tells me this is someone here who has had a pretty rough go on this planet. Probably doesn't look forward to returning to this planet, and that's only if we have to. I mean, who really knows? Some say we have to, some say we don't, some say we know what we're picking when we come here. I disagree. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Does anyone ever really know? And do all of us have the same story? No. So whether or not we come back here, this is probably a person, and when I say person, I mean you, unless it's reversed, who not only has had a rough go since they've been on this planet, but does not really care to come back here. So if given the choice, they would probably opt out next lifetime. So they're trying to get it right in this lifetime. They, as in you, and saying, you know, oh, I just got this in a Leo's message, actually, for someone that couldn't get over them, friend, lover, whatever. Kind of the same thing here, but it's more like instead of that, you're on the other side of it where you're like, I know the only way out is through. I know it's not about addressing the demons in other people. It's more so about addressing the demons in me first. And I'm not afraid. You're not like scared. You're not scared. In fact, probably the one thing that could really scare you more than anything in this planet is yourself and the negative side of you. So you face her and you face him on a daily, because it is daily. We never fully get it, but the point is that we try and that we keep trying. Because if we ever fully think that we've got this life figured out and we just know everything, we genuinely are in danger. We don't know anything. We can read a lot of books, we can Google a whole lot, we can have a lot of experiences, but there truly is a lot of different ways to see things, and the road is not straight and narrow. It is winding, and there are many detours. There are many rabbit holes. There are many realms, and you would be aware of that. It's like looking at a mansion, right? You can look at a mansion and you know that's got a lot of hallways. Whereas most people, it's like, oh my gosh, just a beautiful mansion. And you're like, yeah. I'm thinking of the hallways. That's a whole lot of hallways in there. Like, you see beyond it. Right? You know. And you know there's a lot you don't know. Humble. You could say you're also humble. This is someone who sees you as humble and they love that. Okay? If this is romantic, which is what I'm trying to base them all off of, someone's probably deeply in love with you. Okay? And what do I mean when I say that? It depends on what you want as a consenting adult, and it depends on what they want as a consenting adult. Not everybody wants the same thing. So in love could mean something different for you and this person. But your neighbor right next to you, maybe in love to them means they have to have babies together and get married and buy a home and do this and that. And to you, it may mean, I'm in love with you, it's genuine, and the rest is unspoken and unwritten, because you're creating your own story here. And it doesn't have to look like everybody else's, okay? And some of you will be the ones where in love looks like we get married. When we're in love, that's what we do. We have babies, we move in together, we do this. Okay, it just depends. There's no wrong or right way necessarily. It's just, I think the wrong way would be to do what everyone else is doing, unless it's our story as well. The right thing here would be to do what's authentic to us and what's right for us. And maybe even you found that what's right for you isn't really what's popular. It's not what's really is accepted in society or by society's standards. You may even be a bit of an outcast. Most of your friends and family are married by now. Vice versa. If this isn't your message so far, this is somebody you know. This is them. But it's not about coming to this planet and doing what is acceptable by society standards and what's been programmed that we have to do. It's about finding our own path, paving our own way. And not doing that because we just want to be different, but because it's who we are. Especially when we realize that's who we are. And sometimes we realize that that's who we are, as in different, when we've tried to be like society and when we've tried the whole regular type love life thing and it just doesn't work. It's not because we had the wrong one. It's because it's not necessarily for us, and that's fine. It doesn't mean love isn't for us. It's the way people are doing it that isn't for us. They see you as someone who works very hard to achieve your goals and dreams, so much so that you will even sacrifice things in order to focus more on your goals, whether it's sacrificing your time, with others, sacrificing your time in general, sacrificing having no money so that you have more time to focus on your spirituality. Like, you could get this job and do this and have the biggest house and the nicest car and all this, and there's nothing wrong with that, actually. That's other people's stories. But to you, you'd much rather be able to be home with your pets or be home with your children or whatever. There's different. Now, some people can do both. See, everybody's different. Everybody's different here. I love that everybody's different. Can you know how boring it would be if we were all the same? God. Oh, and we wouldn't have made it this far, like, if we were all the same. It's a good thing. They see you as dedicated to your passions and your growth. Your love for yourself is healthy. Again, I repeat, healthy selfishness. I'm telling you, you inspire someone. They may even be quite similar to you. And here we go again. You know how many times I get for Virgo that you and another person are going to mirror each other? You're going to be different, but you're going to mirror each other if you don't already. This is someone who's grown to respect you, or if it hasn't happened yet, they will grow to respect you over time. Because they also have their programming to unravel. There's things about you that they might not like up front because it may say you're very distant, or you're very passive, or you don't really care, or you don't, you never really loved them, or you don't see them, you see right through them, and it's like, no, it's not even it at all. Right? So they won't see it up front, maybe, for some, or they didn't. If this is already ongoing, they see it eventually. So they will grow to respect you more and more, and they will feel like eventually they have a pretty good understanding of who you are as a person. I think they already do. If this is already ongoing, they understand you more over time than they did initially. And they love you more for it now. Whether romantically or not, this is someone who loves you more for it now, after giving it some time and seeing what you really represent, how you represent yourself, and what you're really about. They see what you're really about now, and they trust it. They trust it more than the average person in society now, which is different. I mean, they may have even never thought they would see things the way that they're seeing them now, but, they have you to thank for that or something. I want to give an example. I think this is going to go both ways. So let's say you're this way, right? Let's say you're used to people just getting mad about you, or mad at you for being this way, for not being like the rest of society. You can be frustrating and irritating, and what others might deem as like non-committal and not a good friend and not a good lover. Whereas to someone like this who is open, you'll start seeing this person sticks around. And though they have their moments where they get confused by you and they're trying to understand it and also unravel their programming, they're still there. They're also patient. They're also consistent. They mirror you. And so to you, it may even change your perspective, like, wow, not everybody's the same as well. Not everybody's the same. Not everybody is trying to control me, though everyone in your life has tried to control you, manipulate you. You may be like, wow, finally, someone isn't. Someone isn't lying to my face. Not everyone is trying to betray me. Not everyone is trying to compete with me. Some people actually are on this planet and love me for being myself and are not off-put by how different I am. You're going to change each other's minds. It's beautiful. I love this. It's a strong and healthy, not only individual relationship with ourselves and themselves, it's a strong and healthy relationship with one another. Whatever you want that relationship to look like. That's up to you and this person. If it's not romantic, which I'm basing it off of romantic, if it's a friend situation, y'all's friendship may not look like the average friendship out there, but it's what friendship looks like to you guys, and it's what works. That's why no one else is in it, and it's y'all's. You really change their perspective on things just by observing how you are and how you handle things. That's it. That's the message. Wow, I went way over. Did I not set the timer? I didn't hear the timer go off. I didn't even set this timer. That's fine. I guess we weren't meant to, were we? So, you are unique and valuable. Of course you are. You're pretty rare. I'll say that. You're pretty rare. It's not every day I get a message like that. So we'll leave it there. Thank you for being here with me, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.